Saludos amigos del canal, vamos a seguir hoy con el tema de tecnología, pero he querido traer no solo que yo les cuente las historias sobre tecnología, sino el traer a las personas que desarrollan esa tecnología. Y hoy les voy a hablar de una empresa y vamos a tener el honor de entrevistar a su director general. Les estoy hablando de la empresa Tempramed. Tempramed es una empresa líder en tecnología de dispositivos médicos que está transformando por completo la gestión de medicamentos para personas con enfermedades crónicas. Sus soluciones innovadoras combinan hardware avanzado y tecnologías digitales para proteger los medicamentos sensibles a la temperatura y brindar a los pacientes un control de la salud sin precedentes. Gracias a la tecnología de Tempramed que está patentada de control de temperatura y sus sofisticadas plataformas digitales, Tempramed garantiza la eficacia de los medicamentos, permite un seguimiento muy preciso y facilita el intercambio de información entre pacientes y cuidadores y profesionales sanitarios. Ron Nagar, les presento a Ron Nagar, que es el director de la empresa. Ron, thank you very much for being with us and thank you very much, first of all, for your time.
Thank you
Ron,
for having me.
thank
Thank you
you.
for
Without any more, people would like to listen to you. And my first question is, for someone who doesn't live with diabetes or severe allergies, why is temperature such a big deal for medication like insulin or EpiPens? What happens if they get too hot or too cold?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think that the issue goes beyond that because basically all medications are temperature sensitive, and those medications that are injectable are even more temperature sensitive than the others. So pills are temperature sensitive, but injections of GLP-1, insulin, EpiPen, growth hormones, fertility hormones, biologics, all of those injectable medications are extremely temperature sensitive. They should be kept, most of them, in the fridge, refrigerated before use. And once they're used, they should not go above or the range of room temperature. So many of them can stay within room temperature, because otherwise, if they're exposed to temperatures beyond the recommended temperature, whether refrigerated or whether they should be kept at room temperature, they basically get invisible damage. So they are damaged, and the issue with that damage is that you cannot see it. You cannot see it, you cannot smell it, it's not like spoiled milk that you can smell. Spoiled medication is invisible to the eye and to the smell, and you may inject it. And as a result, suffer the consequences of using poor medication. For people that are using insulin, GLP-1, other injectables, the biologic, obviously that is poor treatment. For people that use EpiPen, which is a life-saving medication, this can end up with a tragedy. So, and the issue is that you cannot tell it before you actually inject it and suffer the consequence. So you should prevent and you should keep the medication properly to prevent that from happening the first time.
Great. Tell me something, Ron. What inspired you to start Trump Med? Was there a specific moment or story that made and you say, we need to fix this?
Yeah, so my father was diabetic since type 2, since he was diagnosed at about the age of 65. He started to use insulin at the age of 70. He had issues with remembering to inject on time. He had issues when he had to travel with the medications with him to work. He was still working until the age of 85, actually. And on top of that, I've been trying for the last 30 years of my life that I dedicated to provide solutions for people living with diabetes. Basically, the trigger was that my father was using insulin. I was familiar with the need, and I, as an engineer, I tried to find solutions that will help my father and other people living with diabetes to live a little easier, and then again not suffer the consequences of using compromised medication.
I see. Well, in some ways, we have something similar because I've got a daughter that she's diabetic since the age of 4 months. It was a virus diabetic, and I know a little bit about it anyway.
Yeah,
But
it's a big burden. I mean, managing, some people do not realize it, but people living with diabetes, having to remember to inject or take medication 3, 4, 5 times a day at specific time, carry the medication with you, and you cannot just simply inject. You have to measure your blood glucose level. So
that's right.
it's a whole issue, and trying to do that 365 days every year of your life. It's a huge burden.
That's right. But tell me something, Ron, for our listening to understand, before your product came along, what did your patient used to do? What the patient of diabetic used to do? Ice pack, bulky coolers. Why were those always falling short?
Well, as I mentioned just a second ago, managing diabetes has a lot of burden associated with it. And having such products that actually require significant user maintenance. So the cooler, you have to put the ice pack in the freezer, you have to take it out, you have to remember not to freeze the medication first. So you have to separate between the ice pack and the medication. It's cumbersome. It's tedious. A lot of work. There were water gel pouches that you have to soak in water when you want to use it. Dry it out. Wait a little bit. You have to remember that you cannot put it in your bag because it works on evaporation. Continuing to mini electrical refrigerators that are powered by a battery, last 6 hours or very short time. All of those require significant handling. They were bulky, inconvenient, and such thing that it's impossible for a person that has already so much on his mind to try to use those devices. Certainly not on a day-to-day basis. It was simply impossible.
Right, right. No, it's not easy, or it wasn't easy. Your products like VV Cup work 24/7 without
Yes.
needing to be charged or put in the fridge. To a regular person, that sounds impossible. In simple terms, if you can explain, how does it keep this cool?
Well, the VV cap is intended to keep room temperature. The way it works is that it combines a special thermal insulation with heat absorbing material for room temperature. The combination of those two it blocks and absorbs the heat during the entire daytime, even if you leave it in the desert. And during nighttime, when sun sets, the temperature falls down a little bit and allows the heat absorber material to release the absorbed heat back to the environment and to regain its absorption capacity for the following day. So basically, the device exchanges energy or heat with the environment spontaneously. During daytime, it absorbs the heat, and overnight, it releases the absorbed heat back to the environment and regain the capacity to
And
absorb
this
heat for
is
the following day.
and this is done automatically, right?
Automatically, no, yeah, it's physics. It's just the device is doing it by itself.
Right, right. So it is an advantage because if people has to go out, has to go to the beach or has to go to the mountain, it's always keep in the right temperature. So
In the right
it's not the
temperature,
has.
and without them without asking them to do anything, so they don't have to remember another thing to do. They already have so much on their mind. They don't need something else that they have to remember to do.
Right. Very interesting. Ron, I read that you use technology similar to what it used in spacecraft. How did you manage to shrink that kind of advanced science into a cup that fits in a pocket?
Yeah, well, it took us a lot of effort and trial and error, and about 2 years of working with an excellent, other than the design, but we had to realize our design, and that required significant investment in both in time and money until we were able to have this small thermal insulation that sits, you can see it here. So this is a very small, tiny thermal insulation in between very thin walls of stainless steel, two thin walls of stainless steel. There's a vacuum that exists basically in space. So the vacuum inside, and you cannot see it. So the vacuum is encapsulated between those two thin walls of stainless steel. It's very lightweight. And it took us a lot of effort, as I mentioned before we were able to manufacture in a manufacturing capacity in up to 1 million units per year that we can do right now. Such small devices which are perfect, each one of them.
Right, right. Ron, I understood that you have different models, and as soon as I can see, as far as I can see behind you, different models like VV Cap or VV Epsi and VV Med. Can you briefly explain to us who each one is for?
Yes. So VVCap that you can see it here is the basic device that we started with, and it is for all insulin and GLP-1 pens. Basically, what the user should do is to take the pen and replace the existing the cap of the pen with VVCap. That's it. So put the pen inside VVCap, and that's it.
Okay,
You can
just for sorry for 1 minute, Ron. Just for our listeners and readers, the pen where the people use to inject the insulin is the one that you are placing inside of your device, right?
Yes,
Okay.
they just take off the cap of the pen, and replace the cap of the pen with VVCap. That's what I just did. So this is the pen. Take off the cap, put VVCap instead. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now it protects the medication here, which is down here. It protects the medication here, and to give you assurance that it's working properly, there is some electronics here. Basically, you press a button. And it gives you an indication of the temperature.
Yeah,
So you
there
can
is a
see
red
the
light there.
green light that you have here is telling you that the temperature inside is okay. So basically, very simple. The battery that runs this electronics has a capacity of that can support activity for several years because it just for indication. It doesn't run the temperature. It just measures the temperatures and tell you that it's okay or if the temperature is close to the limit that you have to get back to room temperature for the device to spontaneously regain its capacity. Normally, it will never happen, but still you have this as an indicator to allow you to understand what's the status. So that is the VV-Cap. As I said, it's for all insulin pens and most of the GLP-1 pens, Ozempic, Wegovy that we see here, for example, and also the Mounjaro Quick Pen. They all fit to VV-Cap. Other than that, we have as you mentioned, we have the VV Epi and the VV Med. The VV Epi is for the EpiPen. It's slightly larger. Basically, it's the same technology in a slightly larger form factor, simply because the EpiPen that I hold here in my hand is much larger than a regular insulin or GLP-1 pen. Here, what you have to do is take the VV Epi, remove the cap, put the EpiPen inside, close it, that's it. Now, you have to remember, EpiPen is for emergency. It's not something that you use on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You just keep it here. You take it with you, store it there. You can give it to your kid. The kid goes to school, to the beach, whatever they do. The EpiPen is safeguarded in the temperature, in a safe temperature during the entire day. And if it happens that you need to use it, just open and use the EpiPen. That's it. But on a regular basis, you don't use it. You just store the EpiPen inside. Other than that, we have the VV-Med, which looks very similar to the VV Epi, but this one holds biologics. You can see here. So it holds slightly larger pens. It also holds vials, because not all people use pens. There are people that still use vials. So the VV-Med stores also vials. And for people that use glucose test strips, they are also temperature sensitive. Each glucose test strip is based on an enzyme which is extremely temperature sensitive. And you can read that on every leaflet of the glucose strips. So the VV-Med can store also the strips inside. You simply, again, put it inside, close it, and that's it. Nothing to do. Sorry.
Let me explain just for a minute, Ron. The VV-Med that Ron is explaining is for those of you that you still use syringes and need to inject with the syringes every day, and you have to go out, you have to go to the beach or the mountain, and you need to keep cool instead of going with those pads of cooling in the refrigerator. This is something that it will make your life much, much easier. So look at the advantage that you're having in here, and what is the Israeli technology that is bringing temperament. Sorry, Ron. Ron, I would like to, I'm sure that there are a lot of people that is watching this video and they asking, what happened with the Ozempic? Have become incredibly popular lately. Are people using your device to protect this specific pen too?
Yes. As I mentioned, the VV-Cap is, you can see here, this is the Ozempic pen. And again, like I demonstrated before, people with Ozempic can simply use the VV-Cap with the Ozempic pen, just like that. That's it.
Great, great. You know that is something very, very popular today. It doesn't mean that I agree with it, but there are a lot of people using that. Anyhow, I understand that you're working on a larger multi-medication storage platform called the VV Box. What makes this different from your pocket-sized cups, and who need it the most?
Well, everyone that keeps medication in their fridge, and I believe that almost everyone has some sort of medication in a fridge. The problem with storing medication in a domestic fridge is unfortunately that the domestic fridge temperature regulation is not like in the pharmacy fridge. So, and maybe many knows that if you take something that has milk in it and you put it in the back of the fridge, it may get to a lower temperature and actually it may freeze even. So similar to that, putting medication in a fridge is not putting them in a controlled environment. On top of that, even in the US, during summertime, there are firestorms, and as a result, you may have power outages. And then what happens with the medication that you store in your fridge if there's no power getting to the fridge? So where all the medication is stored there. So that inspired us as trying to solve what we call the last mile in the supply chain of temperature sensitive medication. The fact that we are trying to bring solutions for people that are using those medication from the time that the medication left the pharmacy until they end using it. And part of that is storing medication in the fridge. So
Right.
here you don't have just one pen, you have many pens or vials, and that inspired us to come out with the VV box that will allow you to keep your stored medication in the fridge. Even if there's power out, the medication is stored at a proper temperature up to 1 week without power. And if you need to travel with your medication, with several medication, you simply take the box with you and go. And you have 24 hours of refrigerated medication, again, without having to remember to do anything. So you don't have to put or to prepare. You can be spontaneous. You can decide that now you need to go, you take it and go.
Great, very, very interesting. Ron, the VV Cup Smart, you also have a smart version of your cup. How does it connect to a smartphone? And what extra peace of mind does it give to a patient or to us who parents?
Yes. So for people that use insulin, and some of them need to use insulin several times per day. As a result, if you try to take medication on a regular basis a few times per day, you may forget when you took the medication the last time. So what ViviCap Smart adds to the ViviCap is that you can see on the other side. So this is the side that protects the medication, and this part has electronics on it. There is a
Right.
display that shows you, that tells you the time that passed since the last time you used the medication. So
Wow.
this allows you to understand whether you've just the medication on time or you need to take it. Another thing that happens is that every time, and you can see now, so I will simulate in making an injection. So I take the VV, I take the injection pen out, I make an injection, I put it back in, and I close it. And you'll see in a second that you can see that the timer resets. So I just use it, so you can tell that I just used the medication. Another thing that happens is that on my smartphone, once I did that, wait a second, there is someone that is annoying me. On my smartphone, I can see that I get an alert on my smartphone telling me that ViviSmart detected an injection, asking me, and I press the notification, and it gets to the app on the smartphone, asking me to put how much was injected. So I can do it either by voice, 7 units. You can see 7,
Right.
save, and that creates an electronic logbook of all the injections. So this can be shared with your doctor, or if your kid is at school and needs to inject, you can check whether the kid was injecting on time and how much was injected.
Hang on, hang on. Here there are two fantastic issues that I would like to remark. The first one from the smart telephone, I understand that it tells you that you have injected and how many doses you have injected, and you are the one that have to put the number like 7 doses that you did before, which mean in the insurance companies, the people that use diabetes, they can send directly to the insurance company the result of the statistic of a month if the doctor is requesting that. And not only that, the good thing of this is that the parents have a connection to that application, and they know if the kids are injected, not injected, if they have injected the right amount or not. So I
Yeah,
think it's fantastic.
thank
Right.
you.
Okay. Thank you very much for explaining these details, Ron.
Yeah, and you have to remember, until now, people need to do that manually. So try
Right.
to think about having to write down every injection like that 4 times a day, 365 days. So again, it's another burden. And here is another thing that we are trying to relieve the burden. So relieve the burden of having to concern about the temperature of your medication, and in case of the ViviCap Smart, relieve the burden of having to do this manual recording of all the injections.
Right. Right. Ron Tempramed is, and this is for our listening and viewers to know about your company, is expanding around the world. What are the biggest challenge in getting these lifesaver, because they are lifesaver products, into the hand of patients globally? How they can access to this?
Yeah, the biggest challenge for a small company coming from a small country is to make people aware that we exist, that we have those solutions, and that we offer those solutions for them. It's the biggest challenge from my perspective, to know that we exist, and here you're helping us in that respective, bringing the information, sharing that with as many people in the world that can benefit from those solutions to make their life a little bit easier.
Right. And where do you see your company in a term of 5 years? How do you allocate your company in the field of in the medical field?
So we wish to provide solutions for all the medications, as I just indicated, certainly for people to start with, but the technology can be used not just for this for people, but also for emergency services. You can think about ER ambulances that take medication on a regular basis. Some of those medications are refrigerated, so when the engine works, the refrigerator is okay. But when the engine doesn't work, what do you do with the medication? So again, storage. Our mission is to provide simple to use solutions for protecting medications that are temperature sensitive, and for controlling or managing their use. And we are the leaders in providing those technology solutions, and we will maintain leadership in that, bringing more solutions for people and for also organizations. One of the other things that we wish to do is to provide medication and provide our solution to regions in the world where there is no electricity. and then our solution can help people using temperature-sensitive medications in those areas. So there's a lot to do in this space, and unfortunately, there hasn't been any solution so far. And we wish to bring those solutions to as many people around the globe.
Great, great. I just want to address to our listeners and to say to them, I always say to you that sometimes not a lot of time, Israeli technology is created because of need. Look at the case of Ron, that he came with the idea because he suffered in his own family, with his father. He used the need of a solution. So there are lots of technologies in Israel that need a solution, and they have to find it not on the spot. But they need to look for solution. This is the typical solution. Now, if you want further information about the company and you are interested in buying the devices that Temperament provide, I will leave you a link in my video, and then you can contact me or you can contact directly the company, and they will provide you with whatever is your request. Ron, if you want to add anything else, you can do it, or if not, we will really thank you for your time. And we, or myself in particular, I have to say that you have a great product here. And I wish you all the best, and your company will succeed, which I am completely sure it will happen anyhow. So this is everything for today, and I hope you have enjoyed. And that's it for today. My name is Marcos Barchilon. I am in Israel, and I wish you all a great day.